Mia, Jake, and Leo were best friends, always competing in everything. One day, they found an old boat by the lake and decided to race across the water. But as they rowed, a storm rolled in, and the boat started taking on water. Panic set in. "We have to row faster," Jake yelled. But Mia shook her head. "No, we have to work together." They bailed out water while Leo steered toward the shore. By the time they reached land, they were soaked but safe. They laughed, realizing something important: winning wasn't the goal, surviving together was. Moral: true friendship isn't about competition, it's about standing by each other when it matters most. Daniel's mother, Lisa, owned a small bakery, but business was slow. She worked tirelessly, yet customers were few. One evening, Daniel noticed her sighing at the empty counter. "Maybe people just don't know how good your pastries are," he said. Determined to help, Daniel started taking pictures of her treats and posted them online. He wrote, "My mom makes the best pastries in town." Soon, neighbors and friends began ordering. Within days, the bakery was full of customers. Lisa was amazed. "How did this happen?" she asked. Daniel grinned. "You taught me how to bake, Mom. I just used what I know." Social media. Moral: helping each other isn't just about hard work, it's about using our strengths to lift each other up. Once upon a time, a proud prince ruled over a vast kingdom. One day, he saw an old peasant planting apple seeds along the road. The prince laughed. "Why plant trees you'll never see grow?" The peasant smiled. "I enjoy the shade of trees others planted before me. I do this for the ones who will come after." The prince scoffed and rode away. Years later, the prince lost his way during a storm. Weary, he rested under a giant apple tree, its branches heavy with fruit. He realized it was one of the trees the peasant had planted. Humbled, he whispered, "The greatest deeds aren't for ourselves, but for those who follow." Jacob was a busy man. Meetings, emails, and deadlines ruled his life. One morning, his phone buzzed: a reminder, Mom's birthday. He sighed. "I'll call her later," he muttered. The day passed. Evening came, and he sat down to dial her number. As the phone rang, he rehearsed his excuses: work, meetings, the usual. But when his mother answered, her voice trembled with joy. "Jacob. I've been waiting all day to hear from you." His heart sank. The silence between them felt heavier than he'd imagined. "I'm sorry, Mom," he whispered, realizing how much time had slipped away. She chuckled softly. "Hearing your voice is the best gift I could ever get." Jacob smiled, a lump in his throat. He made a silent promise: never again would he let time steal moments that truly mattered. When David turned 18, his father handed him a worn-out pocket watch. "This is yours now," he said. David frowned. "It's just old." "Why not something new?" His father smiled. "This belonged to my father. Every scratch marks a moment: hard work, tough decisions, sacrifices for family. It doesn't tell time, it tells a story." Years later, as David became a father, he polished the watch and passed it to his son. "Remember, value isn't in how shiny something is, but in the legacy it carries. Family is not about things, it's about the stories and lessons passed from one generation to the next."